How to stop watching pornography. So many millions of men and women are watching pornography and wasting so many hours. Some feel guilty afterwards. Some just want to stop because they have relationship issues, or they just want to stop depending on pornography. Well, if that's you, you need to stay tuned, because I've been free for almost 40 years and I've helped many thousands of people get free from pornography permanently. This is possible, so stay tuned. The next few minutes can literally change the rest of your life. Now, if you have yet to subscribe, I want you to subscribe, because there's so many videos that I've done related to pornography, sexual addiction, intimacy, anorexia that can help you in your journey to recovery. We have 12 steps for sexual addiction on YouTube. You can heal. If you have a question about this, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little box there. We'll get that question done as soon as possible. Well, pornography issues are real. Whether you feel you're addicted, you're just struggling, you just don't want it in your life, you have a faith that's counter to that, and you don't want it in your life because it's creating conflict for you. Whatever your reasons for stopping, it might be relationship, it might be your marriage that might be in jeopardy, you're suffering because of this secret. Well, I understand personally. I was addicted to pornography in junior high school. I remember using it several times a day. I remember the guilt and shame and afterwards and feeling like I was trapped. I remember after having a deep spiritual conversion, still struggling on a regular basis and wondering if I'm defective or if God has left me or I'm never going to get free. Well, I've been free for now 39 years, tested by a polygraph. So I'm not blowing smoke at you, and I'm not coming from just a clinical perspective, although I am the president of the American Association for Sex Addiction Therapy. I've been on Oprah. Dr. Phil had a movie and a documentary about our treatment for sexual addiction. I know this personally, and I know this by helping thousands and thousands of men and women, because women are watching pornography in bigger numbers ever in world history because of availability. Well, let's talk about one of the things that you need to do to stop pornography. You have to identify the emotions that lead you to pornography. Many of the emotions that I've heard is loneliness, feeling alone. Number 2, feeling bored. Number 3, feeling unloved, unwanted, or unattractive. You need to find out what your emotions are that trigger your desire to feel wanted, to feel just to maybe be in the presence of beauty, or to feel sexual. You have some kind of feeling that you're wanting to either medicate. Maybe you've been sexually abused, abandoned, had abortions. You have secrets you've never told anybody. Well, that you want to deal with, okay? Those are emotional issues that are medicated. You've been physically abused, and when you went to the fantasy world and boo-boo mommy or boo-boo daddy in the fantasy world loved you and kissed you all over and wanted you, and you could fantasize about being worshipped and adored. These are all emotional states that it helps to understand what that is that you're trying to get met. You're trying to get a legitimate need met through pornography, but that's a false thing. So even look at the themes of the pornography. Are you dominant? Are you submissive? Are you doing things that involve risk? Things that are way outside normal behaviors for you. Maybe there's some kind of excitement and risk and danger for you that you don't get met in the real world, but you get met in the pornography world, the voyeurism of that. And so, and some of you have the interactive kind of pornography with people over the internet. And there's something about exposing yourself and being seen that you're getting an emotional hit from. So if you can discover that, that could be really, really helpful, and you might need some help to do that. The other thing is you have to cut your supply. So if you're using your cell phone, get a dumb phone, or get someone who will be your accountability on your phone. Let them be the person who has your password on your phone. And there's various ways. Get a porn blocker on your phone. If you have a question about that, go to our website, drdougweiss.com. There's a porn blocker there. You can get a porn blocker. Let someone else do that. So if you do look at porn, they know that you're doing it. You can also have different ways of them having the password for apps. But of course, if you want to look at pornography, you're going to be creative and find a way to do that. But if you can cut off a supply line, do it. Okay, that can be really helpful, or at least make yourself accountable to someone that you're doing it, which is the third step, having accountability. I would say for 90 days, find a friend, a support group person. Support groups are all over the country. You can go in person. There's some online groups. And also, if you call our office at 719-278-370, we have many phone groups that are run by therapists and coaches who've been free and who know how to help men and women get free from pornography. And you can get intelligent help that way. And you don't have to show up. You don't have to be seen. A lot of people want the anonymity of a phone group, so that's available to you. But in some form, get accountability where you have somebody that you can call every day for 90 days at least. Every day check on, and whether you've looked at pornography or whether you've tried to access it. If you've done it, be honest about it. Because once you start being honest, once I started being honest, I got free. And it wasn't until I started telling somebody what I was doing that I couldn't get free to save my life. But as soon as it wasn't a secret, now I could start dealing with it. Another thing you can do is set up a consequence. Okay, now if I do this thing I don't want to do, if I do this, I'm going to set a consequence. I'll do leg lunges for half a mile. I'll pick up trash on the highway. I'll give money to some person or group I don't really like. I will set up some kind of consequence for myself so that I don't do that. Or I'll set up a reward. If I get 30 days free from pornography, I'll go do an adventure of some kind. However you are motivated, okay, that can be helpful for you to put that in place. Now, we do have a YouTube called The 6 Types of Sex Addicts. That's really helpful. And there's a free test on our website, sexaddict.com, SEXADDICT.com. And the 6 Types of Sex Addicts, if you just Google that, it'll take you right to it. You want to know what type of sex addict you are. There's the biological, there's the psychological, there's the spiritual, there's the sexual abuse sex addict who's reenacting the sexual abuse that's happened in their life. There's the intimacy anorexic sex addict who is starving their spouse out spiritually, emotionally, and sexually, but acting on pornography all the time. And then there's the person who has a mood disorder like bipolar or manic depression or depression and is medicating themselves neurologically as well. Now, for all types of sex addicts, there's help once you know what type you are. And I would say get help. Trying to do this by yourself is not going to happen. Okay, get accountability, get in a group. You can start there. If you really want to hit this hard, I would call my office at 719-278-3708 because they are actually certified. They've done, over 40 hours of training. They've done months of supervision, and many of the people in my office have been with me for years or decades. We know how to stop looking at pornography, okay? Myself and the people in my office, or that we refer to directly in my office, have polygraphs to verify that they're clean. So you'll be talking to a man or a woman who knows the journey, who knows the story, and can give you hope and encouragement. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to be shamed. You're going to be heard. You're going to be understood. This is a serious addiction. Pornography is an addictive thing. You go to this altered state. You disconnect. It starts taking more time. Sometimes you use even after having consequences. Sometimes you need more and more. You find hours of your life disappearing. Once you open that little crack, you don't know when you're coming back. You could be having relational challenges and difficulties. People lost their jobs, or they're not working up to their full potential because they want those hours and they're using so much of their creativity on this. Let me tell you a selling point for getting sober. Now, again, I've been working with sex addicts for almost 40 years. The men or women who control their income, salespeople, entrepreneurs, business owners, real estate brokers, those kind of people who control their own income, double or more than double their income in 12 months of not looking at pornography and not masturbating. Now, all by itself, no matter what age you are, that will add up to hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. That's just one small perk. You have better sex with your spouse. You're a better parent. You're a better partner in your relationships. You're a better employee or employer. All of your life improves. I know, I've lived it. Okay, I know what it's like to be trapped and in shame and feeling like if you really knew me, you wouldn't love me. Feeling like I have a deep secret that no one's going to ever understand, or I'll be humiliated if they find out. But I know what it's like to be free. I've been free for decades. I know what it's like to be productive and to help people and to encourage people and to have a life that's worth living in relationships. So I encourage you, you can stop pornography, but you will not be able to do it with your own ideas. So take these ideas I've given you, put them into place, and if you need help, call. You're worth investing. Even if you put on a credit card, If you can get sober, you will more than pay for any help that you can get. There's materials, the Final Freedom, the 101 exercises. Get started on some of those materials. If you're married to a sex addict, there's partners recovery materials for you as well. You deserve to get better. You deserve to be free from pornography, but you have to believe it, and then you have to behave it.